calling the internet police.
Hello and what is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. This time I'm playing a little bit of MW3 Special Ops. Kick back and enjoy the video. This is not a live commentary, but just kind of a random commentary I decided to come up with. I am kind of an anime nerd, if I know some of you know. I love anime. I have for quite a while now. I grew up with a lot of the old school, that a lot of older people watch, but I wouldn't say older, but I'd say about 30s, 40s, some even in their 20s. I'm talking about Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. Now, I do get a lot of hate for watching these, but it's pretty much what I grew up with. So this is gonna kind of be just a quick, not necessarily a quick little video, just like a commentary talking about my thoughts on it, what they could have done to improve it, and really what's going to be coming in the future for them, because I know they're having some big success with a new movie that came out actually in 2013 called Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. So they have a possible future, Akira Toriyama, so and kind of what they have in store in their future. So starting off here, I go on a little rampage. I want to excuse for my quick scoping in this one because I do absolutely horrible just in advance. Now, getting on topic, what they could have, what it is pretty much in a nutshell is, starting off with Dragon Ball is a little kid named Goku. He's a little baby. He is of a warrior race called the Saiyans. If you haven't ever watched it, I actually suggest going in and watching that in Dragon Ball Z. It's a very, it's kind of time consuming, but it's worth the time to sit and watch. It's really funny, it's really cool, it's an awesome show. But and his planet is getting destroyed by a evil, universal overseer. Almost like, kind of like how the world was back in, I want to say, like 1700s when, countries would go out and take over other countries. This is kind of like what he's doing. He's going out and taking over universes and planets and all that, and sometimes destroying them if he feels that they are, powerful enough to take them over. Now this, although is not explained in Dragon Ball, it is in Dragon Ball Z for somewhat, but for the most part. So little Goku lands pretty much on Earth, and an old man finds him, and he grows up, and he goes on a quest to find what's called the Dragon Balls to grant any wish he wants. So they go and they find the Dragon Ball and have the Dragon Balls, which there are 7 of, and they go on this awesome adventure, find them all, have a lot of battles on the way, and it's really cool. Dragon Ball Z comes along, pretty much the same thing, but it actually has a bit of lore to it, and it's very interesting to sit there and watch, and it's really cool. It's got, I think, 9 seasons, I believe. I actually know there are 9 seasons. And then it goes on to Dragon Ball GT, which was actually taken over by a different company other than Akira Toriyama, and was a bit more on the serious side. And I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans do not like Dragon Ball GT, but I will say it wasn't horrible. It's not as bad as they could have done. But that's kind of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT in a nutshell. So what's going on with them is they just came out with a new movie, and it's called Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. I won't go into a summary. I'll leave a link down into the description to the wiki page, just giving kind of a brief summary of what it is, or I might leave a brief summary on the screen. I'll pause the video and put up a summary of it, and you can pause the video on it. It'll be up for like 10 seconds, so you can actually pause it and actually see it, so it's not like 3 seconds and you have to keep going back and trying to get it. But if you want to, you can skip right over it, or just put it at the end of the video, and there will be an annotation on the screen that you can click and it'll take you to it. But there's been a lot of speculation that since it was so successful that Akira Toriyama is coming back, bought the rights to it, and are going to make yet again another movie, because they were allowed to make just the one so far, but I think they bought out the rights again, and they're thinking about making another movie, which is War of the Gods, so it's been said. It's not 100% set in stone, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. And then they're actually talking about possibly getting a new series. Now, it's very, 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 very debated, because they've been saying it for a long time now, but we haven't been 100% sure, and with Battle of the Gods being so successful, we honestly don't know what to think. There's no solid proof, but there has been some discussion about it. Some coming from Akira Toriyama's mouth, others coming from fans' mouths. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do in the future, what they're going to do to it. And the new movie, Battle of the Gods, it started off between where Dragon Ball Z ended and Dragon Ball GT started off. So sure, a lot of things in GT are now rendered useless in terms because of this movie, but it's been thought as, will they start it off in Dragon Ball Z, where that ended, or actually Battle of the Gods ended, or are they going to start it up from GT? Now, that is kind of a rough thing to follow up from GT, just because of Battle of the Gods' release, and it renders a lot of that series actually fairly useless and invalid. But it's kind of a discussion that it's very, very heated and very debated on between in that Dragon Ball Z community and the Dragon Ball community in general. Let me know down in the description what you think is going to go on in the, if they're going to make a new series, what you personally think is gonna go for their future. Are they going to make new animes? Are they going to stick with Dragon Ball Z since it's been around for so long and they've had so much success with it? What do you think? What do you think they're going to do? Now, talking about the past Dragon Balls, what could they have done to change it and make it better? And not just Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but as well as GT as well. And I'm honestly not sure who made GT, but I'll find out and put it in the description and let you guys know. So there's a lot they could have done to fix it and make it better, but then again there isn't. They could have made the English translations on the dubs and the subtitled and dub overs of the series that they released here in the US. They could have made the English translations a bit more accurate, honestly, but still for the most part they're very accurate. But still, they could have done a few things to make a bit more sense on some of the subs. But definitely there isn't really much you could do on Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Those were fairly good series, and that didn't need a lot of explaining to keep up with, or just anything needed to be changed in those. Those were solid, and those were good animes. GT, on the other hand, even though it was made by a new anime company, they didn't really follow up with the storyline in Dragon Ball Z, nor did they add in a ton of lore. It was just them going out and doing it. They just going out and finding the Dragon Balls. Now, if you've never seen Dragon Ball before and you're asking, well, wait, didn't he just say that's what they did in Dragon Ball? Well, yes, but Dragon Ball, the original, had a sense of story and a plot behind it. Dragon Ball GT, it was one of the old enemies from Dragon Ball came in, made a wish on a different kind of Dragon Balls, that if they don't find it in one Earth year, the Earth will essentially explode. And so they go in and they find the Dragon Balls, and that's just the whole series. That there's really nothing to it. Sure, there are a lot of battles, and some of the battle scenes are cool, but that's really the only thing GT is. It's not much. They could have put a little more story behind it, and it was very serious. It was, compared to the other Dragon Balls, it made, I don't know, I can't think of a serious anime right now, which is pretty bad, but they took essentially a fun, you know, Japanese kids show and turned it into a more mature anime. They almost tried to mature it with their audience, which actually a lot of American, not companies, but TV channels and all that are trying to do, kid-wise, like Cartoon Network, Disney, Nick. They're all trying to grow with the kids that started. Now, is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, but they do need to keep some of the things that they had before to gear towards more of the younger generations as well. Now, that being said, for TV channels, they should have done the same with Dragon Ball GT. Should they have had it serious? Yes, at some points they should, but they should also have the light quirkiness of Goku and how he was always happy and making jokes. In GT, you didn't see him making a lot of jokes. He was always serious and stern about things. Almost like a regular person would be if they were like a superhero trying to save the world. They'd be stern and just, you know, fierce about it. They wouldn't be like he was in original Dragon Ball and original Dragon Ball Z. He was light and quirky, and he was always fun with things. He didn't really care. He was always up and ready to go, and he was happy, and he was I would say a cool guy, but that'd make me sound like one of those weirdos who try to, I wouldn't say weirdos, but one of those people that try to bring, you know, an anime to life or whatever and try to compare it to real life when, you know, that's obviously not possible. But you know, it's I don't know. It's cool, but then at the same time they could have changed a few things in GT to make it a little better, honestly. Now that's really all I have to say about Dragon Ball. It's one of my all-time favorite animes, no matter what. If you want to go check it out, go ahead and check it out. I don't know if Netflix or Hulu, whatever, has it, but if they do, I completely recommend going and watching all three of those shows. If anything, you just go on like uTorrent or something and go and download it. I won't leave a link down in the description because my YouTube channel can get banned for that. For piracy. I go down here in about 10 seconds, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave a like and rating if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment if you like this. If you want to see more, go ahead and tell me. Like I said, leave a comment and everything down in the description if you want to see more of this, and what you think they're going to do in the future and what they could have done to change Dragon Ball Z, and obviously Dragon Ball GT. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out, guys.